Welcome to Booked, Busy, and Building, the podcast for dreamers, doers, and everyday people making it happen. Whether you're building a business, a mindset, or a better version of yourself, this is your space to stay grounded, get inspired, and keep growing no matter how full your calendar gets. So if you're chasing your dreams and figuring it out as you go, this is your space to stay motivated and keep building. So tune in every week for new episodes. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Booked, Busy, and Building. Today we're going to be talking all about how consistency is boring until it changes your life. Consistency is one of those things that a lot of people talk about or they mention it, but when it comes to actually doing it, this is where a lot of people lack and they almost kind of stop or even take a pause, because when it comes to taking action on the thing it is that we talk about or the thing it is that we are thinking about, this is where a lot of people get a little bit scared, or maybe they don't want to take action because it's too much commitment. Like, for example, saying tomorrow I'm going to do this, tomorrow I'm going to do that, starting Monday or Sunday I'm going to do this, my diet starts tomorrow, I'm going to start reading this book tomorrow, etc. Like, whatever it is, we are all human. We're going to have our days where we don't feel like showing up. We're going to have those moments where we don't feel like putting in those reps, but it's not about being this insanely disciplined person and showing up every single day, no matter what, and not having days off, because that's also not realistic. It is about being consistent enough that you are learning from what it is that you are doing and you're seeing some kind of results after a period of time. And it may not be in a month or 2 months or 3 months or even a year. We don't know when that period of time will be. However, you are going to hit a point eventually where you're going to start to notice things and how things around you are starting to change. Because again, consistency is not fun, it's not aesthetic, and it's not really an exciting thing to do. It does not come with instant validation. It is literally about waking up, doing the same thing on days when you're tired, when you're unmotivated, even when you're doubting yourself, because consistency is the reason why certain people look like they are lucky, when in reality, the thing is they just keep showing up and they've never stopped showing up. They have their days, they have their moments. We're all human, like I said, but they still show up in some capacity. So in today's episode, I really want to dive in and talk about how staying consistent, even when nothing else seems to be working, is the moment in your life when things are actually starting to work in the back end. You just may not be able to see it yet, and you just have to keep pushing. So I want to talk about that, like, in between period where you're working, you're putting in the reps, and you're showing up. And even when it feels like nothing is happening, the wheels are still turning, even if you can't see it. So this is your motivation to keep going. And I really, really want to talk about that in between period. So let's get started. Tip number 1 is consistency builds identity before results. Consistency and showing up every single day, that is going to build your identity. That is going to build your confidence before any results actually show up. Because when you actually do what it is that you say you're going to do, you get this boost of confidence of like, yeah, I am that person that actually does what I say I'm going to do. Like, for example, if I tell myself I want to go to the gym 5 days this week and then I actually do it, that gives me a boost of confidence, because I'm like, wait, I actually did what I said I was going to do, what I set my mind to, and this goal that I set for myself this week, I actually did it. I told myself as well this week I wanted to read more. So what did I do? Today I literally brought my Kindle to the gym and I read it while I was on the treadmill. And it's like, that is an example of, I could have easily just brought my phone, put a YouTube video on and done something else. But I was like, you know what? I want to read more. So by doing that small thing, that was proving to myself, like, you actually did this thing that you said you were going to do. And that gives you that boost of confidence. So people that want this instant gratification, or they want these wins and they want all these good things to happen immediately, like, as fast as you can grow and go up and do all of these things is just as fast as how things can go down, because your journey is what you need to be focused on. That is where you need to be at constantly, which is why showing up and being consistent and putting in the reps every day, even on the days where you're maybe a little bit unmotivated, that is what matters the most. Today, I did not want to wake up. I was so comfortable in my bed. I was so warm. I didn't want to go to the gym. I just wanted to watch a YouTube video on the treadmill if I was going to go. And I told myself, you want to read more and you want to go to the gym. Summer is in 2 months. It's time to keep showing up. And that's exactly what I did. So even though I'm like, I want this instant validation, I want that summer body right away, it's like, it's going to take time and it's going to take work. Because again, before consistency changes your life externally, it is going to change who you believe that you are, which is why I say confidence is a really big thing, because you're actually doing what you set your mind to. So you're going to go through this mindset shift and have all of these internal changes, and that is going to change the way that you truly think and see yourself. Because again, when you actually do what you set your mind to, you are telling yourself, you can do this, you can do this. So what's the next best thing that you can do? How can you go even further? How can you do something even better, even cooler, even stronger? Like, for example, when I was first getting started with social media, I was learning to edit. I wasn't really that good, but when I did this first video really good, and I was proud of how I edited it, and it was obviously, now that I look back at it, it was probably a really bad video, but in that moment, I was so happy because I learned something new, and I almost like challenged myself, and I was like, what about the next video? Imagine what you could do in the next video. And I started getting all of these random ideas, and then I was like, I gotta write this down. And so that excitement, that like, what else can I do? How can I be better? How can I make something even cooler and better, etc.? Like, it literally changes who you are and how you think about yourself and whatever it is that you are doing. Like, it can be applied, this mindset shift, in so many different ways, because with social media and content creation, like, that's always one of the best examples I can give, because that is something that I have seen the most results from, and something that I've put so much time and so many reps into that some people would have given up by this time, but now is really where I have to keep going, and I have to stay in this in-between period, even if it is a little bit hard. Like, for example, anybody who wants to be a content creator, or anyone who wants to get brand deals and all of this stuff, like, you're not going to get that overnight. You're not going to get the followers overnight or the instant PR emails. You are going to go through months, even years of posting without seeing results. However, the mindset shift that I faced was, I was like, I want to do this. I want to take this seriously. What can I do right now to show up as this dream content creator it is that I envision in my head? Who is this person it is that I want to be? I just need to show up as that person every single day, regardless of what my environment looks like right now, regardless of my financial situation, regardless of what is happening in my life. So I literally changed my mindset to be like, I am a content creator and I show up as this person every day. This is my work, and this is something that I want to pour time into and energy, and I want to learn how to edit better. I want to write better emails. I want to make a media kit, etc. And all of these things now have led me to who I am today. But it's like, I started small, but that consistency built that identity before I started getting those results. Number 2, this is probably one of the most important tips of this episode, I'm not even kidding, is boring days are where the progress lives. The days that you want to skip, the days you want to stay in bed, the days that you want to give up, those days where literally like your hands are up and you're like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to show up today, those are the days that matter the most. And I want to really also quickly make this note, is that even on those days when you don't feel like showing up, you do not have to give your 100%. You don't even have to give your 90%, your 80, your 50%. Like, as long as you are giving even 5 or 10%, that still matters. There are days where I want to stay on my phone. I want to scroll in bed. I've had a long day and I'm like, I want to decompress and just watch some funny videos on TikTok, or I want to send my sister some funny memes on Instagram. And it's like, I still pick up my book. I still pick up my Kindle. Even if I read 1 page or 2 pages, I'm like, you know what? I still read, and that's something. Like, it doesn't sound like a really big accomplishment, but that is a little bit of progress. At least I can say I still read, or even on the days that I don't want to journal and I'm really tired and I want to get in bed and I just literally want to go to sleep, I will grab my journal out of my nightstand and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to write 1 quick journal entry. Even if it's 3 to 5 sentences, I'm just going to write something down and just get it out, because I'm not going to get this day back. I'm not going to get this time back. Let me do it right now. Growth happens on those quiet days. Growth happens on those days where, again, like I said, your hands are up and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired. Success and successful people are not built on random breakthroughs and, oh my God, every single day I show up and I do this and I do that. Because again, like I said, we are all human. It is unrealistic to be wired like that and do that every single day, because eventually you are going to hit burnout, and we do not want that, which is why take your time, recharge. don't try to be this machine every single day, because I have tried to be that for so long in my life, because that's what I've seen in my life. I'm like, if I want to be this person, I have to be this insanely, routinely disciplined machine. And it's like, that is what led me to burnout so many times. Like, I have to also give myself those moments where I just chill and breathe and I put my shoulders down and I'm like, you can just relax, girl. It's okay if you don't open up your computer today and answer any emails. It's okay if you don't want to post today. Like, I used to post every single day without missing. Now I have a day or two during the week where maybe I don't post. I still like to post every single day on TikTok or just show that I'm active at all, even if it's a video that maybe I edited really quickly and just put out there. I still like to show up, but I've taught myself as well, it's okay to not give my 100% every day, even if I give a little bit of something, because that still counts. And some people will look at that as I failed, I have to restart again. Some people will quit. Some people will be like, I don't want to do this anymore. That's where you have to keep going. That's the moment where, like I said, progress lives. You don't need to restart every single time. And I've also learned that lesson, and I've had to teach myself that, because I am also somewhat of like a little bit of a perfectionist, where I feel like if I don't do something every single day or a certain amount of times during the week, then this wasn't a good week, or, oh, maybe I failed this week. Like, if there's a week where I only went to the gym 2 days and I wanted to go 4 or 5 days, I would look at myself like, you didn't show up enough this week. You didn't do this. But it's like, look at the things that you did do. At least you went twice. So consistency and showing up and having those boring days, like, sometimes we need those moments to just get back to ourselves, because even when we don't want to show up, but we still do it even just a little bit, that is progress, and that is worth patting yourself on the back for, because that is something that not many people would do. So the fact that you are doing it, you're already 1% better than who you were yesterday, and that is worth celebrating. Tip number 3 is motivation follows action, not the other way around. I have said this in so many of my YouTube videos and podcast episodes, which is that waiting to feel motivated is always going to have you staying stuck, and you are going to end up waiting for forever if you want motivation to just come and give you that boost of energy. There are days where, like I said, I don't want to get up. I have to find my own motivation to want to get up early. All throughout the winter, my boyfriend and I were waking up at like 5:30 to go to the gym. It was dark. It was cold out. We had to wait for the car to heat up. And if you live in the New Jersey, New York area, this winter was so brutal. I can't even explain it to you. Like, genuinely, there has never been a winter like this. And it's still cold to this day. It's only April, but still. It was such a cold winter, and I had to find that motivation to be like, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go work out, or I'm going to get up and I'm going to go meet with a friend and go to a coffee shop early in the morning. Like, I had to find the motivation to actually get up and do things, because if I waited for that spark of energy to come, I was just going to end up sleeping in every single day. I was never going to get up early, and I was never going to get to the things it is that I wanted to do. So once you take action, once you put one foot in front of the other, that is how you get clarity. That is how you start seeing the light, and you're like, oh my God, like, now I can do this, now I can do that. And I cannot tell you guys how many times I finally took action on the thing that was on my to-do list, or the thing that I've been needing to do for months. And then when I finally did it, not only do I feel so relieved and happy, and I'm like, okay, I finally got this off, but now that gives you the motivation to do a million other things that you were like, what are some other things I've been putting off? And then when you finally do it, that is going to create that clarity. That is going to give you that boost of confidence to be like, what else can I do? And what else can I do? Which is exactly what we talked about in the beginning of this episode. But it's like, stop waiting for this I'm ready moment, or when am I finally going to be ready? That moment is never going to come. And I did a podcast episode a few weeks ago about, you either have that dog in you or you don't. You either have that motivation and you have that energy within yourself that you make yourself motivated, or you are just never going to do the thing it is that you want to do. I always wanted to do something in the social media space. I didn't know that I was going to end up being a content creator, but I was always obsessed with YouTube and Instagram and bloggers and fashion makeup artists that were posting content. And I'm not good at makeup. I went to a fashion school. I'm not great at like beauty related things. I definitely just know like the basics of it. However, I was always obsessed with that. And I was like, I want to be in this world and I want to learn from the people that are in this industry. What did I do? I didn't wait around. I learned what college can I go to. I found out about FIT, which is the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York. I applied, I wrote a great essay, and I got in. It was like, this was my goal, and then how can I get there? Like, what are the steps that I have to take to get there? If I waited for a golden ticket or a handout or for someone to help me, then I probably would have never went to FIT. If I waited for someone to give me the boost of confidence to start posting on social media or to send out that brand email, I would have never started on social media and I would have never gotten the opportunities that I've gotten to this day. So it's like, stop waiting to feel ready because you're never going to feel ready. You genuinely just need to start. And when you start taking action, when you start being consistent and showing up every day, even if it's in small ways, that decision fatigue and that like optional, oh, maybe I'll do this today, maybe I won't, like all of that stuff goes out the window and you just start showing up and being that person. All of this, oh, maybe I'll show up or maybe I'll do it at the end of the week. Maybe I'll decide to read that book today. Maybe I'll put my phone down and not doom scroll. Maybe I'll go to the gym. Maybe I'll meet up with this friend that I've been saying for weeks we're going to finally meet up. Like when you genuinely just do the thing and you start showing up every single day, things all around you, I promise, are just going to start clicking and things all around you are going to start working. But it's because motivation, it is followed by action. Once you start seeing results, once things around you start changing, once you start seeing things starting to work and start to click, you're like, how much more can I get of this? How much more can I start seeing? And that's been something that I've seen with myself and like the gym and working out. I finally, after months of working out and finding my routine, I feel like I'm finally seeing results. And now I'm actually excited to show up and go to the gym because I'm like, what will my results be like next week or in 2 weeks or in a few months? What are my results going to be like by my birthday in the summer? And it excites me because I'm like, well, I'm showing up now and me seeing small results now is getting me excited. How much more results can I get in a few months? So be consistent and take action because that is going to give you that clarity. Stop waiting for inspiration or waiting to feel ready because it is never going to happen. Before we get into the next tip, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, and that is Valdez Agency. If you're new here, Valdez Agency is the media company that I founded to help ambitious creators, students, and young professionals actually get access to opportunities and real conversations about building something meaningful and going after your dream life. If you're a creator and you want brand deals, education, and a community that wants to see you win, then Valdez Agency is the place for you, and it is absolutely free to sign up and join. To apply and be in our creator community, all you have to do is visit thevaldezagency.com. You can also rate our podcast, Booked, Busy, and Building, after you're done listening, or even right now, if you enjoy the episodes either on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Booked, Busy, and Building Podcast, which posts the full episodes. Make sure you're also signed up for our weekly newsletter, Spill the Success, which has all kinds of resources and new drops towards mindset, career, creator economy, business, and more. And lastly, follow Valdez Agency on Instagram so you never miss anything that is going on, including our book club that is hosted virtually on Fable, where we read books monthly on self-development, mindset, and more, plus our newly launched broadcast channel, which is solely on our Instagram. Reminder again that all of this is free and everything is linked in the show notes because trust me, we are building something big with Valdez Agency and we would love for you to be a part of it. So let's get back into the episode. Last but not least, tip number 4 is consistency makes you unrecognizable over time. You are not going to notice day-to-day changes. You are not going to notice these insane, amazing results overnight. However, one day you're going to look back and things are going to be different. And this is exactly how I felt one day with social media. There was one day, I'm pretty sure this was last year or 2 years ago, I had gotten invited to Los Angeles with Kate Spade, New York to do this really cool photo shoot for the holidays. I was able to bring my sister. It was genuinely something that I, like, the day that I have kids, the day that I have a family, like, I'm going to literally tell them this story because it is just something that I feel like was such a once in a lifetime opportunity. And getting invited to this shoot, going to LA on an all expenses paid trip, even if it was only for 2 days, being able to bring my sister, sharing that experience with her. I remember the night before the flight, my mom like came into my room. She was a little bit nervous because she was like, I don't know if this is real or not. Obviously it was real, but she was like, I just don't know what's gonna happen. This is all so crazy, and all these different things. And I just remember going to sleep that night and thinking like, this is my life. This is a reward of all of the things that I've been working towards over the last few years. If I would have been told when I first started posting on TikTok or on Instagram or whatever, that it would lead me to a moment like that where now I'm able to share really cool moments in my career with my family, such as bringing my sister to do something like that, I don't think I would have believed it, because even though what I'm doing right now has always been my dream, I did not think that it would happen to somebody like me. Like, I am a girl that is from a small town in New Jersey, that things like what I am doing, which to some people it may not seem that big, but to me, I'm like, these things that I'm doing, these things that I'm going through, events that I get invited to, brands that I work with, experiences that I get to experience are things that when I look around me, like, it does not happen to people like me. And so I constantly remind myself, like, that moment right before I went to bed and I had the flight the next morning, I was really like, wow, I've been posting for years. I've been working so hard behind the scenes for years. No one sees any of those moments. And when people see this, once it finally goes public, like the photo shoot and everything, they're going to be like, how did this happen? All these questions, whatever. And then I was just laying there thinking, like, this is genuinely years worth of work that I'm now being rewarded for. And again, to some people, it may not seem like that is a really big deal. But as someone that was just like a girl that really wanted this life, now that I'm finally living it, it just feels so surreal. That consistency and those years of showing up and doing the work and posting videos and being cringe online, like, all of that led me to where I am today. So those habits, that quietly started to reshape everything around me. It reshaped my lifestyle, my mindset, my standards. I went from looking at other people online and wishing I was them to now being the person that people tell me, I wish I was able to do this. I wish I had your life. I wish I could do this. And it's like, I don't ever want anyone to say like, I wish I had your life, or I wish this, or I wish that, because everybody has their own things that happens offline that no one sees. But I noticed that my habits and what I was doing, even when nobody was looking, that started to reshape my life. And that is why I really believe, like, me getting that email and me being able to go to that trip with my sister and doing one of the coolest things I've ever done in my social media career, that was because of genuine years of work and doing things in the dark, staying up late, messaging brands, posting videos, doing all of these things. Because again, that consistency over time just really built up, and I finally started to reap the rewards of that. So long-term consistency, that is going to create so much reward in the future for you. And it's like, you don't know when or how it's going to happen, but it doesn't matter, because honestly, that's the fun of life, is like, we never know when something is going to happen, when the moment will finally click, but you never know if that moment will ever even happen if you don't actually start showing up today and just putting one foot in front of the other. Because that entire story, like, I just want that to be your reminder that you just have to put one foot in front of the other, and over time things can happen and your dreams can come true, and they will come true. But it starts with being consistent, and it starts with actually showing up. Start raising your standards for who you think that you are. If you normally are the person that rolls out of bed at this time, set your alarm an extra 30 minutes early and see what you can get done. Even do an hour earlier. If you're the same person who maybe every day you like to wear pajamas or loungewear, maybe you work from home, or maybe you like to just not be in actual like dressed up clothes at home, challenge yourself and take out an outfit tomorrow. Put on some jeans and a sweater like how I did today. Like, every single day I work from home. Some days I go to a little coffee shop or the library, but I put on a full outfit as if I'm literally going to like an event or something. I am always wearing jeans, always wearing some flats, a cute little sweater, because I'm like, you know what? life is short. I want to have fun. I'm going to still show up for myself every day, even if no one around me is watching, because those are the moments that matter the most. The ways that you show up for yourself, even when no one is looking, that is going to shape who you are and your habits and what you do every single day. That's going to get you to your dream life and where it is that you want to be. But it starts with who you are today. So stop waiting for tomorrow. Stop saying tomorrow I'll do it. Just show up today and watch how drastically different your life can change in only a matter of time. Thanks for tuning in to Booked, Busy, and Building, where we keep it real, stay growing, and are always showing up for ourselves. Remember that you're not behind, you're in the middle of becoming, so keep building what matters, and the life you want is already yours. And until next time, stay booked, stay busy, and keep building.